Just be yourself. Mao Zedong.
Hello, this is a casted game between myself, FRA Hippie, playing as Berlin Gropers, previously Unternehmen Zentrum, and I'm up against Bear Cigarettes, playing as 5E Division Blindée. And this was held as the grand final of Emperor Nate's Warno 1v1 tournament, and this was the final, and this is game one. It's a best of three. So yeah, this is the game, and we're gonna talk through the deployment, and then we will watch the game, and I will stop talking in very strange roundabout circles. So what's going on? I said again. I'm really tempted to start this all again. Let's just forget about it. So I'm playing on the bad side of Geisa because skill issue. I'm on the bad side of Geisa. So for those of you who don't know how Geisa is played, basically the enemy will get to here at the same time as I get to Charlie, right? So if he rushes this, he'll get to it first. And that's my zone. That's my zone. And this is his zone. So that's why the map's imbalanced. And it's also just kind of the shape of the map, right? So he gets to your zone first. And then he can put somebody here. Somebody here, and then whenever you attack, you get shot at by like a semicircle of enemies. Whereas the other side doesn't really have that opportunity. Although to be honest, I mean the other side basically, I want to take this and then push up to here, right? But you know that's the map, and that's what you have to deal with. So let's go through the deployments. So basically, I get to this at the same time as he gets to here. So even though he would get to this before me, if I rush here, I will get my corner of my zone. And so my overall plan is to try and take this so I don't get shot in the side, like I did in the game against X Nihilio, and then swoop across here and reclaim the rest of my zone. So what's going on? We've got 2 FS forward deployed SPG-9 teams and 3 FS Jägermetis. So 1 FS team and 1 FS Jägermetis are going to here, and the others are going to here, and the Strella's also going to here. There's a Strela with that as well. Behind that block, we've got 2 motorized Grenzers. These guys, they've only got 4 strength, right? But they only cost 25 points. So really cost-efficient recon, and you need recon everywhere as Untermensch. I mean, sorry, Gropers. I don't know who names these divisions. I don't want to see any comments about the divisional names, guys. There's nothing wrong with them. And you don't get a recon helicopter. So you used to get one. No, you used to not get one, and then you got one for a patch, and I thought that was a big mistake, because the whole point is that this division's really strong, and it's a cool, interesting dynamic that they don't get a recon helicopter. So now they don't again. So I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of that. So yeah, you need lots of recon everywhere, and that's what these small teams are for. It's good that the division has a disadvantage. Otherwise, everybody wants to be the same. It's very silly. This division already has enough tools. So I've got a mortar here for smoke, and then I've got a supply, which is going to here. A T-64 BV. This division gets light tanks and heavy tanks and forward deployed infantry and regular infantry, and go down to air. Basically, it's a very strong division, so no recon helicopter, no problem, basically. So T-64 BV and supply for that, and then an anti-tank gun going to here, and an anti-tank gun going to here, and then Panzerjäger, Pioneer, Agi. So what the hell's Pioneer Agi? This is like a flash or an RPO, except it's like a zany little triple RPG launcher, and yeah, it's only 40mm, but you get 9 rounds, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. So that does it for the left. On the right, we've got 1 sniper, Scharfschütze, who's going to here just to watch things, because basically an AMX-10 can get to here and just snipe everybody coming down this road. So that's another reason you don't want to rush this at the start against 5e, you're just not going to win. And then 1 FS Metis just to stop people from coming down here and messing me up. Behind that, 1 CV and 1 Conquers team. The Conquers team is going to here. So that about does it for my deployment. Let us switch to that of my opponent. So 2 MX-10 RCs going to here. These are really annoying if you've been living under a rock. Might as well explain what this is. It's a wheeled tank. It's like a battle cruiser from World War II or something. It's stronger than anything slower than it. No, hang on. It's stronger than anything faster than it, and it's faster than anything stronger than it. Right, so it's a wheeled tank, really good gun, 105mm gun with 16 pen, 3 front armor, smoke, forward deployed, really good optics, mediocre stealth. Then the Blindée has a 105mm gun with 18 pen, which is just an absolute bizarre. I'm not sure what kind of Wunderwaffen the French have, but it is what it is. I think 5e is either the strongest or the second strongest division in the game right now. I've been playing more 7th, and I'm starting to think that they're even stronger. Behind that, Milan 2 and a Minstrel. So the Milan 2 is going to here, and so is the Minstrel. Going over to the middle, he's got 1 Dragon Paras going over to here. And behind that, an AMX-10 RC Blindée with the depleted Uranium Isthmus 105mm 18 pen gun. Totally sensible going to here. You know, so he can shoot my reinforcements on this side. He can shoot my reinforcements on this side, and that's one of the issues with the map, right? I have to try and take my zone back, but all the time the enemy has the ability to cut your reinforcement, and he starts in your zone. So it's a really tough one. If you don't believe me, just play the map. Then he's got a CV. The CV is going to go to all 3 points, but he's just unloading it here at the start. Another Minstrel. An AMX Visi 20mm. You don't really see these around a lot. For some reason, it's got 3 front armor now. It had 1 before. I don't really see how it deserves 3. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Anyway, they're going to over here as well. Oh, I guess the Minstrel's going back here. Yeah, so the Minstrel's going back here. And then 3 Super Puma Commandos, and they're going to here, which he didn't actually have to do. If he just sent wheeled guys, they would have got there before me anyway. But yeah, that's a big investment, man. That's 330 points. And then 1 AMX-10 Blindée going down here. So this is actually quite conservative. I would have sent it up here. And then you can blow up people come down this road as well. So let's get on with the game. And I'll cast it from my perspective because I'm me. Right, so they're off and everybody's going to where we said they were going to go. And then I moved the CV out of here too fast and didn't cap the zone. Tournament final moment. Final of the tournament moment. So there you go, and now send it back in. So Berthags is winning, and I'm still behind. There we go. And then yeah, off to the next one. It is what it is. When you're on this map, if you're on my side, you will lose the early game. I mean, that's a 100% chance. So yeah, I was quite surprised with the lack of AMX-10 here. In general, this deployment is a bit weird to me, because if he put these AMXs here, he could have just got wheeled guys in here. There's no real reason for the helicopters. Unless he thought I was going to open helicopters. So, yeah, as you can see, the AMX is already messing me up, but I managed to deploy... So, I think I lost 1 of the SPG-9s. No, hang on, I only brought 2. And this is great for dealing with these guys, which is why I brought them, but I can't deal with this, it's too far away. Which is not great, so I'm trying to move up the metis, but, you know, it's hard. But thankfully, we've defended it long enough for our reinforcement to get over here. And he's forced to smoke, and then he starts driving through the smoke to waste my TGMs. I just sort of see this as part of the game. Right, I mean, that's the advantage of the SPG-9. He does it and I fucking smack him. Some people think this is unfair, but I don't really see the problem. So I switch off my metas. I mean, it's not rocket science, guys. And yeah, he's taken this part of my zone, which is to be expected. And because he had to load this guy up, I'm on a brief +2. And sadly, I don't have anything for here. So he's going to get the AMX-10s behind me, because these guys don't have AT, if you recall. Over here, it's going alright. We're gaming. These guys are forced to back. Sadly, I don't actually have a tank or anything here, so I can't actually kill this, unless I move the metis up. Sightlines are really weird. There you go, I lost that recon, and now he's going to charge through here. And I don't have a recon helicopter, right, so I can't actually see them. So I'm sort of forced to buy tanks to try and spot him. Over here, the Pioneer Aggies, you know, between them, that's 18 rounds of flame. And that should be enough to kill this guy eventually, even though he is in a building. But yeah, he's well and truly behind me now. And I sent this forwards to see how far in he was, and when that died, I was like, oh, okay. Sadly, these guys are going to die as well. I could have passed them this way. I never used that mortar that I spent so much money on. But yeah, the T-64 BV's over here. Thing is, I still can't shoot this. That's kind of frustrating. So yeah, I bring up the Metis to deal with the IFV. Still behind me here, he's just killed someone else. So I send up the T-80B. We're still fighting over here, but I want you to see this. This is one of the many reasons 5e is broken. And look, I can't even see him! But yeah, that's the power of the very good optics, etc. So, winning the fight here, though, because this is 200 points, and my 200 points are over here, but the thing is, he's still in my zone. For some reason, he unloaded these guys. He could have just driven down here and taken it, although I guess he doesn't know what's there. So I bring up my Mi-24 VP. So we lose visual on that, and then he sends a Mirage 355 points. This is 240, and it will kill it in one pass unless I land it. So I press land, and that seems to mess up the targeting a little bit. I've seen it happen a few times now. Over here, I've taken half my own zone, and now I'm trying to take the other half, but he's got a tank up here. I didn't buy Cubs at the start because I couldn't afford them. So I can finally afford some Cubs, get some Cubs up. And yeah, I've got this problem that he's in my backline. I saw this guy go back here. I can't see him now, but I figured he would be going over here somewhere. Finally get the mortar shooting, but I've actually killed everybody here. I didn't know that when I was playing. Now you've got the standard French 2 AMX-30 B2s a minute. They raise the price by 5 points, so you can't do it for too long. But if you don't spend your points for, you know, if you have 20 points saved up, then you can do this for 4 minutes, no problem. So yeah, scout with the helicopter, send the tank in behind. We get one of them. Now I'm going to try and find the other one. Over here, trying to figure out what's going on. I don't really have fire support, so I'm bringing up the T-55. These guys are running out of ammo, and because I brought a helicopter, it's difficult to, you know, if I put that too close, I don't know what kind of AA is around here, so it has to be sort of far away, and that means that these guys aren't getting their stuff. So yeah, you know, the Gatling gun against a rear armor of an enemy vehicle is really not so bad. And yeah, I got nothing here, so I had something here and it died, so he's walking across with more. I told you this Conquers was in a good spot. Obviously it doesn't one-shot these guys, which for some reason have more armor than a Leopard 1. A lot of you have been complaining to me about this. I found some resources that prove that you're right. And yeah, exciting. So I get tagged by the Minstrel, now I got 1 HP. Thankfully he's only got 1, so it has to reload, and that gives me time to run off. And you know, I've got 20% ECM, so the thing is, these things are just so broken. I mean, 65% accuracy. Anyway, I'm pushing him out of here just with sheer force of will, really. The T-55 with the guys behind, it's doing alright, and so he's forced to run off, save his guy, because this T-80B is coming up the other way. Get this guy back, and I think I buy a monocopter to resupply him. Reactor 4, if you're watching this, you have won. People call it that now. And yeah, so I managed to get up to here as well, so it's going alright. It's going alright. I mean, we've finally got our own zone back. Now we can pour some fire into this building with the 2 tanks, and T-55A front armor's not bad, but against 850-meter rocket launchers, which every man, woman and child in the nation of France gets, it's not great. Interesting choice from my opponent to not bring any chasseurs at 40 points. 40 point 850-meter rocket launcher chasseurs would be absolutely amazing. You just put one in this building, put one here, put one here. put one here. Put one behind this building. Put one behind this building. So that when they drive past, you shoot it. But yeah, I've not actually seen any. And I think we will continue to not see any spoilers. So I'm not sure why he didn't bring those, considering how unbelievably broken they are. But yeah, plenty of AMX-30B2s. The thing with the B is that its gun is heat. So it could shoot tanks at all ranges, but the damage is not going to go up closer it gets because it's heat, unlike the KE of the other one. For some reason, the B2 has more armor, even though if you look up what the difference was between them, more armor was not one of the differences. They basically made it a bit faster, so you see it's like the fastest tank in the game, but yeah, for some reason it's got more pen, and yeah, I believe they did put a better fire control system in there, but yeah, more armor for some reason. So yeah, T55s with a T80B behind is pretty powerful, and this is one of the things that just makes fourth so irrelevant when these guys can be picked, is that, well, the fourth pushes T55s. I didn't smoke in time. The fourth push is T55s. The Gropers push is T55s with a heavy tank behind them to kill anything that can stop your T55s, right? So, yeah, Gropers just so much better than fourth. It's pretty crazy, actually. Too many tools, but, you know, broken versus broken. It's a tournament final. You can't expect us to be playing Z-tier divisions. Although you will see TKS in Game 2. Spoilers. So we've got the Cubs now for the air, and we finally pushed him out of our zone. And then, yeah, the sightlines in this map are just absolutely wacky. So I figure, whatever, smoke and go. But then I think better of it because there's a lot of commandos around here, so I actually send this guy over to here. Mortars are pretty cool. Sadly, this guy's out of ammo and he's out of position, and that wasn't very intelligent. Either player choosing to do anything over here. Interesting position. So I guess he thinks I'm in here, because otherwise these should be up here, right? Interesting choice, yeah. But yeah, these T55s, you know, for 60 points, like, because people said, oh, they're too expensive now. And I was one such people. They're actually really not that bad, particularly if you've got a TAB behind them. Obviously, something like fourth doesn't have that advantage. And yeah, they're at 3 vet because the CV's giving them veterancy. But yeah, they're obviously not as good as these. Obviously not as good as these. So, as you can see, each shot only does 1 pip of damage to me, and that would be the same at all ranges. But yeah, against 6 of them, 5 of them, not so great. So I smoke, thankfully that one misses. And yeah, because his CV died over here, we now have his zone, and we're +4. He's got another CV coming, but it's a tank one, so it'll take a while. And this isn't a problem, and it's got the AMX behind it, and it's got the Minstrel as well. But the Momocopter's finished repairing this guy, so I send him forwards, and the Minstrel can't actually see that because it'd have to be here. But yeah, I'm really thin on the ground. My extension has cost me, and then, you know, you just see how fast these guys melt, because they got autocannons and stuff, so not great. But at max range, the Kokon ain't bad, particularly if you have 16 of them. And so yeah, that's why he's moving up the Minstrel, he's moving up to the next building. This guy's just like totally burned. And yeah, this tank gun's a bit far back, but it will stop them from getting, you know, too far forwards. And we've got T80B here as well for some side shots. So yeah, he's smoking with the AMXs, buys another Mirage, might be the same one as before. I land, and then the Cubs start smacking him. There you go, Strela's finish him off, but there's still 4 Cubs left to go there. Trying to push on this side, but as you can see, he just gets so many of these. He gets a lot of these. Although, you know, an open field probably being Fifth's only weakness. So yeah, the pick was interesting. 3rd Armoured was banned, by the way. If you guys want to know, 7th Panzer and 3rd Armoured were banned. So yeah, he's got a substantial amount of dudes here now, and he's got all this, and he's got all this. So my overextensions really cost me here. And so naturally I continue to walk forwards. And yeah, he's bringing his Grenadier Voltigeurs in trucks instead of in the VAB with 50 cal. The VAB with the 50 cal for 20 points is really, really good. This guy's got to go back and repair again. So, you know, sort that out. Gets in his zone, and my CV died, if you recall. So, there goes my +2. Just trying to move up over here, but, you know, I've got this problem where I can't see this, but it can definitely see me, you know, because of the ground surveillance radar. See further. So yeah, I'm trying to get spots for this Panzerjäger so that they can shoot these guys as they come back past. But here we go. So now I've got him on 2 sides, the T-80B. But yeah, something wacky's going on where like I can't flipping see him, and it keeps changing, and now I'm on low cohesion, so I'm gonna miss everything. This is not a great place to be. But yeah, we're sort of hitting him from 2 directions, which is cool. But then I'm getting stunned up now. Got another tank, anti-tank gun here as well, so I can hit him from here as well. So, you know, this is why you need some infantry in front, basically. Because, yeah, now I get another one. And now if he continues to move forwards, he's going to get hit by this, and the recon can't even see it. Yeah, I can see this, so this doesn't have an AT. This guy's repairing. Minstrel is almost out of ammo. There you go, the Metis can shoot from the side as well, for what it's worth. No Voltigeurs for my opponent, not using his strongest asset, Voltigeur spam at 40 points for an 850 meter range rocket launcher. Don't know if I mentioned that already. But yeah, Unternehmen gets loads of heavy tanks, unlike Thoth. Sadly, this sniper died, and we lose our visual. So now we're not sure entirely what's here, but that AMX-10 eats a Metis, and the Metis will one-shot a regular AMX-10 in the front, because it's got 3 armor. So Blindée, I think, survives. But yeah, I've been well and truly pushed out of here now, but his tank losses were pretty absurd. If he'd had an infantry in front, a recon infantry in front, would have gone a bit better for him. Or if he'd attacked down here and then across, as opposed to just attacking down here and getting hit in the side. But yeah, a lot of people say these 65-point anti-tank guns are useless because they die in 1 hit to a tank gun, but trust me, they're not. They're really not. They're very, very good. I would also prefer if they didn't die in 1 hit to a tank gun, though. So we lose that unnecessarily, really. Keep in mind the Brennus is only 155 points now. This is 135. So yeah, I'm surprised he's not spamming more Brenni. But here he is. So yeah, same thing again. Pioneer, smoke, CV. You got to defend your zone actively, otherwise this is going to happen. You know, if you're not sat on the edge of your zone, then you don't own your whole zone, right? Over here, just driving forwards into death because I'm really intelligent. No recon here, so I can't actually see what's shooting me. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll fire my ATGM, cool. And and then I die. Trying to move up over here, so I brought the Strela to shoot this, and you know, they're not. This is a forward deployed one, so it costs 20 points, but usually they cost 15. Definitely punches above its weight. So yeah, over here, this guy's like mediocre cohesion, so he's not going to be able to turn so fast. He's trying to send these guys forwards, but yeah, the Strelas, I can just put them everywhere, and eventually they'll hit you. Eventually. This guy needs to unload. And I brought a Conkers here and a Conkers here because, you know, because of that push before, that's when I bought them, and it takes a while to get there, right? So yeah, we're still in over here. This would make a good YouTube shorts. YouTube CV snipe shorts, where sometimes the CV doesn't die. And then, yeah, because these are heat, they don't get better the closer you get, whereas mine does. So I'm just going to drive up to him and kill it. And he's only going to deal 1 pip of damage to me with that. So that's the advantage. Sadly, yeah, the LOS is a bit funky. Like, what's going on? And then, yeah, you know, I've done a good job of keeping this alive, if I do say so myself. Because his Rolands are so far back. You know, he's just got 1 Minstrel. If he had 2, then there's a pretty good chance that they'll just both hit and this thing will die immediately. But because he's only got 1 in 1 place, you know. Anyway, so he sends out a seed with his Mirage. So the Mirage goes for the fighter and the seed goes for the Cubs. This seed missile allegedly only has 45% accuracy, but did well that time. Thankfully I land, so did alright, but I lost a cub and I ran out of ammo on the other one. This guy's still alive. He just sort of walked past him, which is what it is. And yeah, the T-80B is better than the AMX-30B too. This guy's doing alright over here. He tries it again. Routs me this time. And we hit him with a Strela. But he's still up. We lose the anti-tank gun to the Brenai. But we got a Conkers as well, and he's not paying attention. Neither's my guy on the Conkers, allegedly. And then, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. Sometimes they just seem to bug out a bit. Like, that definitely should have killed this, because it was routed. Not sure it was landing. So yeah, I've got a T-80B here as well, because that was the one that was up here that I pulled back. And so now, you know, this guy's being hit on two sides, sort of. And so he gets a side shot there and dies. But yeah, my tank CV finally went down here. And we're back to even Stevens. Buys another Jaguar. Because this is out of ammo, I don't actually have to turn it off. The seed doesn't pick up out of ammo radar AA. Just something to note. So I buy another CV to go do exactly the same thing again. And yeah, now I'm dying here as well. So he can still see me. It's not great. So yeah, time to buy some rubbish. So we got the Vopos, that's some good rubbish, and some T-34s, that's some good rubbish. And the idea just being saturation, so you get the heavy tank behind, put the... I was going to call them retards then. Apparently I can't say that anymore. And I can't glorify the Syrian regime. I can't get away with anything these days, honestly. Anyway, T-34s. Coming to a political statement near you. So the idea is that they're going to line up here and then I can send stuff forwards and I've got this sort of wall of crap to defend it. You know, so the idea is that put them all in here. And then how many people could he possibly kill? Like, I've not seen any group anti-char. Oh, there's a group anti-char. These guys get 2 Appelas. And I knew this guy was still flying around, so I don't think I bought any more cubs for that reason. I didn't put a fighter in my deck, because I thought, well, whatever, I've got cubs and bucks. But I think I should have got rid of the buck and put a fighter in. Because the buck's alright, but it's very expensive, and the cub's kind of broken for its price, so it's not too much advantage in bringing the buck. When you get 4 cubs in a card, it really blows my mind. Really blows my mind. But yeah, that's life, innit? So Vopos go forth, line of rubbish behind. As soon as they spot somebody, they should shoot. But you see, the thing is, the guys here can shoot that. And the guys here can shoot that. But they can't see each other. So I didn't actually know this was here. So I walk in. That's why I'm mortaring where I'm mortaring. Didn't actually know where he was. But yeah, this guy's healed up again. Genrich. And I walk through and I'm like, oh. Immediately routed, which is fair enough. There's 0 vet. There's 0 vet. And yeah, I lose my truck to this Milan 2, so we now know there's a Milan 2 there. It's just strange that he never pushed into here. If he'd taken this, that really would have messed me up, but he didn't bother to do that. Sort of sat back here. Maybe he thought I was in there. So yeah, here we go, let's smoke again. Send in the rubbish. You know, I mean, if he's going to defend his zone from not the front of his zone, then I am going to smoke and go in the corner of his zone. And that's all there is to it, really. But yeah, these guys are a bit out of position. I should have deployed them here and then moved them up. Because as it stands, I've sort of left a few here. And that's not... Das ist nicht optimal. My opponent begins to buy artillery. Oh yeah, the thing with Gropers is that you should deploy all your front units, get a good line, buy artillery, hit them with the artillery. Oh no. Receiving Steam messages. There we go. I lost a supply truck to the Milan too. It's in a really good spot, to be honest. So yeah, here we go. Let's get in there. Typically you want the rubbish in front of the important tank. Major skill issue. But yeah, that's because he was trying to path himself into a forest, so you have to turn that off here. Because obviously you can't see the forests when you're in the smoke. And yeah, he's just sort of running through me, trying to find the CV. He's found it now. Because these guys are shock, they suppress the tank, so the tank is now low cohesion because he just ran past it. That's the way shock works in this game. Don't ask me why. Over here, I'm trying to get over here as well, so I moved those guys back and then around. This guy's obviously still a problem. I've moved a CV up, because I figure there's another recon heli here, I got that. And I figure, yeah, just run a CV in here as well, while he's distracted. He's got a big build up here. Surprised he didn't take this. And yeah, you know, he's sort of monging out. Like he's trying to hit this. His group anti-char's not shooting this. His group anti-char's running away. It's running towards. Now it's running away again because he's lost visual because his commando's died. Oh, here we go. No, now it gets stunned. But he's got me on two sides now. But now he's moving again. It says stopping and shooting. Yeah, very exciting. And I saw his CV here, so I hit it. And because he went rolling 2 instead of rolling 3 and put them behind his tanks, the bomber will get through, basically. The rolling 2 is way too strong for a non-radar. The range is stupid for a non-radar. I think it's very silly. Very silly. But it is what it is. So I buy 3 Pioneer Agi and no AT. That will become important later. And here we go, he's finally taken this back. But yeah, I really should have taken this. Like, I wanted to take it, I just felt like I never had enough stuff. So now I've got this problem where I move these things up for fire support, but obviously they're all going to die in one hit to all this. And then there we go, he finally gets me with that, but he's not got a CV in here, so I keep the zone. Here's the CV. And yeah, in a defensive position, these T-55As, they ain't half bad. I mean, obviously he's very dead, but... yeah, lots of AMX-30 B2s mixed with Bs. He's really punching through me. Gets the CV in. And once again, I've overextended somewhat. But this time, at least, my fallback line's pretty good. This guy needs to resupply, and this tank needs to be moved up to here, really. Although I didn't know about this. Sadly lose that full supply truck. And yeah, because of the way he's advancing, no smoke or anything, start getting hit from multiple sides. That's really sad, man. Because he's going to die now. And, and none of these guys have AT, not even the Führer, so this man will continue to punch away. And yeah, the helicopter, once again, he's advancing without his AA. So the helicopter just taking names constantly. Kokon, Kokon, Kokon. It's not the best thing ever, but it's got good range. And it's got a lot of them. And then, yeah, this is the advantage of having this part. So he drove that back and it got hit by this. Buys the seed to shoot the Mi-24 VP, but I land it again. Cubs are turned off preemptively. Switch them on when he goes overhead. There we go. He's down for a long time now. Sadly, doesn't die, but can't have everything. And here we are, I'm in here now. Like I said, T-55 is pretty good for the price. You could do some interesting things with them. Like, even at 60 points, they used to be 45, I think. And there we go, up to a +4 again. This starts getting hit by the artillery. When you're behind, you really don't want to buy 520 points worth of artillery. Figured that was a free roll and kill there, so I got that. Sadly, I do get tagged, so I'm down for 5 minutes or so. I don't know. I can't remember the timings now. They changed them. What I really wanted to kill was this, but let's see it. This guy's been a constant thorn in my neck all game. A pain in my side, etc. And yeah, once again, he's on the verge of pushing back in here. And I don't have like what you need is a Panzerjäger in this building, or even just behind this building. So he sends this over to find this, so I send it back there. Sending the tank forwards as well, but I can see it because of this. Looks like he can... Oh, he could see it, but then he lost visual because he stopped. That misses its last shot, but whatever. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses. Then he buys another AMX, so, you know, this is now 700 and... So that's 520. 780 points worth of artillery. Imagine if he had 780 points worth of stuff here in front of his tanks. And then he could just run all the way through this with 780 points worth of, let's say, for example, 40-point guys with 850-meter range rocket launchers with their IFVs. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be interesting? See, I'm taking side shots here, which is sad. But yeah, instead we have 3 AMX artillery pieces, and you know that's wow. You know, you might get this tank, incredible. You'd have to do that 3 times for it to be worth it. So he finally resecures this, and we're back to even Stevens. But I got another CV, and I still got my mortars. And I'm buying units, he's buying artillery. The thing is, so the way Gropers is supposed to be played is you make a defensive line, or an aggressive defensive line with the forward deployment. Then you buy a bunch of rubbish, buy artillery, hit him with the artillery for 10-15 minutes, and then move in with your bunch of rubbish with 1 heavy tank behind, 1 or 2 heavy tanks. Sort of been playing them wrong. Bought the artillery with 10 minutes left, but I felt like I could never use it because I needed units on the front. Meanwhile, you know, this is now over 1,000 points worth of artillery. This is 1,040 points worth of artillery, and that's huge. Imagine if he had 15 chasseurs with their IFVs for the same price as those 4 artillery pieces. Which would you rather have? Because yeah, wow, he might get this. If he does that 10 times, it's still not worth it. He'd have to do it 20 times for it to be worth it. So I'm getting hit by these side Milans, so I move this guy back, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to get hit by side Milans. And then I continue to move the rest of them forwards because I'm a blithering idiot. So yeah, here come the Rolands finally, moved up with the guys. But yeah, I got that 20% ECM. So yeah, we get 1. Losing the T-55s, this Milan here. Need some recon here, really. We've got some here, but if we just move this guy sideways... Oh, there we go. Read my mind. Almost like I played this game. And yeah, he's got CV here. 1,000 points of artillery. Don't do this, guys. Such a bad idea. And yeah, we go back to repair. I figure... Let's go find out what's in here. So I send the recon first, and I send the tank right behind it, and obviously the tank's faster, so I just totally overtake it. If this had ammo, this would be a very dead tank. And yeah, he absolutely nails my FS Jägermetters, but whatever, it's just not worth it. So I start moving my mortars when I fired them, because I'm like, oh, he has some artillery. Still haven't used this Eurogun that I paid all this money for, so I can't actually see any of his stuff. So I smoked up here. Just to misdirect him, because I actually want to attack over here. Do you see? So I bought the Panzerjäger, bought the Berfags. And here we go, because as this guy moves up, I now start seeing these. These 2-man teams die pretty quickly to tanks. Oh, I thought I got that guy. Turns out I didn't. There you go, he's going for the mortar. Mortar moves. So yeah, I send this guy around here. Wow, I'm such a gamer. He's going to get in there and cap that CV. I didn't realise that he'd left a CV in here. Because what I wanted to do was cap this and then go for this, but you know, not paying enough attention. So yeah, I'm now +2 again because I've contested this zone, but it's not going to last very long. This guy's going to kill it. Oh, I need a YouTube short thing. I know you guys are watching this, but I need shorts content footage, and I can't be bothered recording it again. So let's just enjoy this. Well, I can't wait for 1,400 people to watch that, guys. That was absolutely riveting. Weren't you entertained by that? So, yeah, his push here is going quite well, actually. He pushed through my smoke, and these guys never really healed up. But I've still got plenty of agi, so they're all getting mega suppressed by the flames. Got an SPG-9 behind. And here we go. So he's smoked and gone. Smoking and running in. I guess this is how you deal with that, guys. You put some infantry in the smoke, and then he runs into your Panzerjägers. So at these kind of ranges, not going to go so well for him. So yeah, you typically need something like 40-point chasseurs with 850-meter range rocket launchers to help out. So he's got this guy in, and he's just popped the smoke on it, I believe. So now he's like, oh, the Panzerjägers are coming for me. This is not good. So now he's running backwards over here, but this can shoot down there. This can shoot a bit of it. The Panzerjägers are coming in. The Roland 2 hits this. But yeah, the Panzerjägers are shooting, the SPG-9 shooting. This man is not long for this world. Epic. Epic shots, footage. GG. Oh, I don't want to skip that. So yeah, Berthags, really good player. He's got almost as many games as me. He was ranked 32 before I checked, now he's ranked 36. I've dropped a bit, I'm ranked 22 because I keep playing 4th March and 7 Panzer, because you guys keep telling me they're good. Turns out they're bad. And yeah, just a strange 5e game from my opponent. Not the best map to pick 5e on. And he didn't use one of his major advantages, the chasseurs. The 40-point 850-meter range chasseurs. But he did use his other one, which was AMX-30B2, and that did quite well. And yeah, good game, well played. As you can see, the AMXs did really well at the start. In fact, everything's called AMX, so it's sort of hard to see. Sort of hard to comment on it. Yeah, good game.